Hey guys, what's going on? Heading off to Coffee and Cars early in the morning, so I thought I'd shoot this video. This is 5 things I like about my SVT Focus. Check out my previous video, 5 things I hate about my SVT Focus. If you watch this video and my previous video, it might give you a good idea about the pros and cons about this car if you're checking it out, maybe if you want to purchase a used one. I have a lot of high praise for this car, so these are the 5 main things, but there are a lot of other things that I really love about this car. So the first thing I love about my SVT Focus is the exhaust note. When I bought this car, one of the big sellers for me was the exhaust note. This is the stock exhaust. The exhaust was tuned by Cosworth. It has a tubular manifold, a 421 tubular manifold from the factory, and a full 2.5-inch exhaust all the way back. It's pretty raspy for a stock exhaust. You'd be surprised. It kind of has that old school B-series Honda raspy sound, and man, compared to 4-cylinders these days that have like a really muted and very generic exhaust note, this thing really stands out. It kind of reverberates in the cabin really well because there's not too much sound deadening in here. So it's a really nice, pleasing exhaust note, especially up in the high RPMs, past around 4,000 RPM. This engine really sings. So the second thing I love about this car is the steering and the chassis. So they're 2 separate things, but I decided to bundle them together because they're kind of related to each other. The steering in this car, it's really lovely. It's got a really nice progressive weighted feel. It's hydraulic. The Ford GT actually has the same steering rack as the SVT Focus. When Ford was looking for a really good steering rack to use for their Ford GT, they were looking around everywhere, and this was the best one that they decided on. So it's an interesting piece of trivia. The second thing is about this that's really nice is the chassis. So the first generation Focus, compared to a lot of cars in its time, and even cars comparable now, it has a really stiff and a very compliant chassis. The car feels very tight around the corners, but it also is very compliant on the bumps, especially like on the expansion joints and on potholes. Of course, it's a smaller car, so it kind of does have that jarring feeling. The car, compared to a lot of cars in its day, had a really nice ride quality, and it didn't sacrifice in performance because of that. Not only that, Ford was able to keep the weight on this car down pretty low, so the car weighs around 2,800 pounds. On the corners, when you're tossing it around, especially like in autocross or on the back roads, the car feels really nimble, really tossable, and it's just a really fun car to drive at 8/10, 9/10, stuff like that. The car from the factory, the suspension geometry, makes it really playful in the corners. There tends to be quite a bit of lift-off oversteer, and on the back roads and stuff, I've been able to lift the inner rear wheel off the ground. So the car is very tossable, playable, and it's just overall a really fun car to drive really hard. So the third thing I love about my car are these Recaro seats. So the normal SVT Focus didn't come with the Recaros. You had to get the EAP or European Appearance Package trim in order to get these all leather black Recaro seats. They were definitely worth it, and the cars, I feel like the cars that had them are worth more now because of that. So these Recaro seats here are really great. They have a lot of side support, as well as the thigh support is not too large, but it does give a lot of room for the legs, so you don't get fatigued very easily. Like the new ST and stuff I've been in before, and I do really like those new Recaros, but I feel like they're a little bit on the aggressive side compared to these seats, so they tend to be a little more, they give you more fatigue when you drive it for a longer distance. So I personally like these leather Recaros in the SVT Focus better than I do on the Focus ST. Since these Recaro seats are so good in the secondhand market, especially on the Focus forums and stuff like that, these Recaro seats on their own are extremely valuable, especially on cars that were wrecked or being parted out. These Recaro seats are immediately gone, basically. People that want better seats in their car, they tend to go for these seats. So yeah, these Recaro seats have a really good blend between sporty performance and comfort. It makes the car feel a lot more expensive on the inside because it has these really nice seats that you sit in all the time. So the fourth thing I love about my car is the overall practicality and the daily drivability of the Mark I Focus platform. I'm really glad that Ford decided to go with the hatchback rather than the sedan when they built this car. They have a 3-door and a 5-door. Mine is a little bit more impractical because it's a 3-door. The 5-door, if people have like a family and stuff like that, the 5-door is perfect. It's also a hatchback so that you can put a lot of junk in the back, and I use this car throughout college, so it's been really great. I've been able to take things home and bring things up to my apartment, move things and stuff like that, and I've been able to even stuff furniture and stuff without too much issues. My friend, who's also 6'3", hasn't had too much trouble in the back seat. Yeah, it's just an overall really practical car. Yeah, you could daily drive it every day. I love it. So the fifth thing I love about my car is the fact that it's kind of exclusive. So the SVT Focus, they didn't actually make too many of them. From 2002 to 2004, they built about 10,000 of them. This one in Screaming Yellow, they actually built very few of them. In 2003, the 3-door with the EAP package in Screaming Yellow, they built only about a little over 200 of them, which makes the car very just exclusive. It's really great. It kind of adds to the appeal of the car compared to something like a Volkswagen GTI where they built tens of thousands of them. Of course, they were really popular. This car also tends to fly under the radar. My car, it's not as much as other SVT Focuses in silver and black and stuff like that, since mine is this extremely bright yellow color. Overall, the car is not extremely flashy in any sort of way, so it tends to fly under the radar to people that don't know too much about the car, but people that know the car can tell because it does have those big fog lamps in the front, that diffuser and the exhaust in the back. So people that know the car, but people that don't tend to just dismiss it as just a normal like economy Focus and stuff like that. So in some cases it's kind of nice because people don't try and race you as much and think you're a dick and stuff like that. So that is a nice thing about having a car like this. So these are the 5 things I love about my SVT Focus. If y'all are interested in another 5 things I love, just let me know in the comment box below and I can make another video. So thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you like my content. Again, watch my 5 things I hate about my SVT Focus if you're interested. Again, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Thanks.